Good afternoon. Welcome to the plenary session on a spotlight on inequality, where you will hear from a number of faith leaders the drastic implications of a widening gap between rich and poor, not only in this country, but around the world. You will have a chance to do more than listen on page 14 in your commitments book, which many of you should have picked up. There is a declaration on income inequality on page 14 of the booklet, and then a chance at the end of the book to pledge your own steps that you will take yourself as an individual or your community of faith in addressing this problem. As some of you know, the Millennium Development Goals were a set of goals that address the problems of major inequality and poverty around the globe that went until 2015. They have now been replaced with the help of faith communities around the world by something called the Sustainable Development Goals, which continue the fight against income inequality, the lack of education, and health care. Poverty, though, has always a local face. And as you read about these statistics and numbers, these lofty goals, you think of your own community back at home and what poverty looks like. I was at a program rallying for a $20 real living wage in Harlem last week, where a friend of ours, Emcee, said that poverty is like a many-headed hydra. It looks like the face of a woman suffering from domestic abuse who can't rally the funds to get out of her situation. It looks like in the case of New York, a Yankee Stadium filled to capacity by the number of homeless families in our city. It looks also like the arrangements that we used to take for granted a generation ago of children living on their own and parents on their own, where it's common knowledge, at least again in New York City, that it is impossible to afford New York City rents on the minimum wage. And of course, in New York and around the nation, another head of the hydra of poverty is our system of mass incarceration. And we, in our context, live near a 15-block stretch called Convict Alley, where 400 people each year are released back from imprisonment only to find themselves in a cycle of incarceration again. And this, as we know, has both racial and poverty effects.